When you search for Nikola Tesla on Google, you'll find approximately 87 million results. Looking at the visuals, you'll notice a limited number of photos, predominantly showcasing various refined versions. Most of these images convey a glimpse into his profound thoughts. While Tesla was undoubtedly brilliant, he grappled with the curse of thoughts he couldn't restrain. Nevertheless, he stood as one of America's greatest innovators. Through the discovery of alternating current, he revolutionized electric motors, making them safer and more efficient. Tesla gifted us with numerous technologies, including fluorescent lamps, X-rays, radio wave control, and countless others. He remains a hero for America and a trailblazer in the world of technology. Today, in the age of technology, the era of controlling electricity with radio signals has passed. And rest assured, getting to this point wasn't easy at all. Nikola Tesla devoted his entire life to changing the world, even though he was often deceived and betrayed. He was the unsung hero of modern history. Tesla died mysteriously in a hotel room, but left behind a legacy that still inspires. In this video series, we will delve into the incredible inventions of Nikola Tesla. We'll examine the authenticity of his famous portrait and question whether Tesla actually created an invention called the death ray. Following that, we will explore theories surrounding his death and, of course, delve into his feud with Thomas Edison. Born in 1856 in a small village in what is now Croatia, Nikola Tesla came into the world on a stormy night in Lika, Milan, where lightning flashed incessantly. His father was a devout Orthodox priest, a fact that often weighed heavily on the young Tesla. This situation caused him to have an introverted and cautious childhood. He had extraordinary abilities in mathematics. His father had vowed that he would become a priest, but Tesla wanted to be an engineer. He contracted the fatal disease cholera when he was 5 years old. He was treated for a year and was expected to die. However, little Tesla's miraculous recovery from the disease changed his fate. When his father regained his health, he allowed Nikola to fulfill his dreams. Tesla's death was considered certain, but he miraculously recovered. When he grew up, he started studying in the engineering department he dreamed of. However, for some reasons, he had to leave school. However, electricity and its potential fascinated Tesla. He began doing in-depth reading and research on electricity, and his work would make him one of America's most famous inventors. 1884. Nikola Tesla traveled to America by ship from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which is present-day Croatia. He was now a young man at the age of 28. The reason for coming to America was none other than Thomas Edison, who had successfully transformed electricity into a source of light. Tesla was greatly influenced by Edison's accomplishments. Despite the huge leap in industrialization, people still used kerosene lamps and candles. Edison developed the light bulb using Alessandro Volta's knowledge and started selling them for $2.50 each. However, although it was successful in selling light bulbs, it did not yet have a system that could distribute electricity to large masses. Edison thought that he could transmit electricity to every house through cables using direct current. This required installing a power plant on every other street and delivering power to homes that way. The system was not only expensive, but also unreliable. This was because direct current generators were sensitive, and even the slightest issue could lead to electrical disruptions. However, after a few years, this system was implemented, starting from certain points. In the same period, George Westinghouse, the Westinghouse Company, who became rich with the air brakes he developed for trains, aimed to carry electricity to longer distances and get ahead of Edison by using alternating current, albeit primitive, instead of direct current. At this very moment, Nikola Tesla came to Edison. Tesla wrote a letter to Edison, conveying his ideas, and was accepted by Edison to work at his company. Later, they started working together. A few weeks later, Thomas Edison promised Tesla $50,000 in exchange for fixing broken generators and making them more efficient. Tesla, with his intelligence, quickly fulfilled Edison's wishes, but when he wanted to take the money, he received an answer like this.
You promised me $50,000. Aren't you satisfied with the contributions I've made?
What? I was just joking about giving you $50,000.
This situation greatly upset Tesla. Meanwhile, the Westinghouse company developed a system that could carry electricity 2 kilometers away and illuminate with light bulbs. For this, they used alternating current, advancing it by erecting poles along the way. It was a marvel for that time, but Westinghouse company could not sustain this system in a viable manner. Because they didn't have a sustainable system, they needed an engine that operated on alternating current. On the other hand, Tesla advised Edison to abandon direct current, but Edison had invested his entire fortune in this system and was unwilling to start over for alternating current. Tesla realized he couldn't convince him, and unable to bear it any longer, left the company. So which one was better, direct current or alternating current? Edison advocated for direct current, which is transmitted through a single line in one direction with a specific voltage and cannot go beyond 2 kilometers. To illuminate a town, it requires burying many cables and installing a generator every 2 streets. But the direct current system is less deadly for humans. In the new current that Tesla advocated, which was an alternative to him, the direction and voltage of the current could be changed. Furthermore, while direct current could be transmitted at a maximum length of just 2 kilometers, alternating current could be transported for miles, illuminating an entire city. However, the problem was that alternating current could be deadly for humans, and thus began the current wars in the 19th century. After parting ways with Edison, Tesla founded his own company named Tesla Electric and Manufacturing in 1886 and obtained patents for his initial inventions. Investors were eager to see Tesla's inventions, and Tesla decided to share the patents for transformers and motors that produce alternating current with consumers. However, these were only the patents for the motors they intended to manufacture. Investors were not particularly enthusiastic about Tesla's new type of alternating current motor. During those years, Tesla struck a deal with a company to sell his patents in exchange for company shares. However, the company owners did not dedicate enough time to him and his ideas. Eventually, they dismissed him, even though they had acquired his patents. Just as everything seemed to be falling into place, Tesla once again lost hope. He didn't have a single penny in his pocket. Consequently, he found himself working as a ditch digger for a meager wage of $2 per day. The bitter irony was that the company where he dug ditches was affiliated with Edison Electric. The subsequent chapters of Tesla's life will narrate the challenging period of 1886, emphasizing that the price for his advanced education in various fields, such as science, mechanics, and literature, should not have been working in such conditions. However, the unknown factor in that place would eventually alter the course of his destiny. Towards the end of 1886, luck starts smiling at Tesla. 2 investors have heard about Tesla's projects and offer financial support. In April 1887, they established Tesla Electric Company together, dividing the shares into thirds, 1/3 for Tesla, 1/3 for the other 2 investors, and the remaining 1/3 for developing the company. In the same year, Tesla develops an induction motor using alternating current. A year later, in 1888, he obtains the patent for the motor. Besides obtaining the patent, these 2 investors promote the motor to all wealthy investors in the vicinity. In 1889, a new laboratory is established at 175 Grand Street in Brooklyn. Here, Tesla begins to explore wireless transmission, electromagnetic radiation, and especially high-frequency currents. In 1890, Tesla discovers illumination with fluorescent light. 40 years before fluorescent lamps were used in homes, Tesla was already employing them in his laboratory. He was ahead of his time. Tesla, during those years, delivered a breathtaking lecture in a class at the American Institute of Electrical Engineers, where George Westinghouse was also present, demonstrating how wireless lighting could be utilized. Westinghouse was deeply impressed by Tesla's speech. Finally, a significant patent agreement of $60,000 is established between Tesla and Westinghouse. Tesla had now secured the necessary financial resources. On the other hand, the news of the agreement between Tesla and Westinghouse had driven Edison almost mad. Thomas Edison launches smear campaigns against alternating current. He organizes ruthless demonstrations on the streets, highlighting the dangers of alternating current. For instance, they tether a horse and administer it with alternating current electricity to emphasize the perceived hazards. Thomas Edison presents a ruthless demonstration where a horse dies within seconds, showcasing it to thousands of spectators. Afterwards, he provides alternating current to a cat, a dog, a monkey, a sheep, and even a circus elephant to show how deadly it is and exhibits it. Then the idea of execution by electrocution comes to his mind. Edison takes it a step further by secretly financing an electric chair that would utilize alternating current. William Sismler, accused of murdering his wife, was executed by electrocution in a New York prison on August 6, 1890. Thus, the electric chair was invented. At the top of the newspapers of the time, it was written as follows: "After the first attempt to kill him with an electric current, scientists were horrified to witness the victim still showing signs of life, slowly succumbing to torture." The current was turned on for the second time, and William Camler's tragic fate was sealed. The events were terrifying and would never be forgotten. A year later, in 1892, Nikola Tesla moved his laboratory to a house on Fifth Avenue on the Bendick Line. While working there, he invented the electromagnetic oscillator. The oscillator was a piston-driven electrical generator. The system was designed to generate electricity by causing a piston connected to armatures to vibrate up and down rapidly. However, when Tesla tested the oscillator, he was unaware that he was actually producing an earthquake weapon. The large waves emitted from the oscillator created a small earthquake effect in the building. Tesla destroyed the oscillator instantly. Nikola Tesla made a statement many years later that the mechanical oscillator, if fitted with a cliché, could even destroy the Empire State Building. The newspapers of the time carried this information as headlines. 2 years later, on March 13, 1895, an unforgettable event occurred in his life. The building where his laboratory was located caught fire from the lower floor, engulfing the entire structure. Many things Tesla had worked on were lost in the flames. After the incident, speaking to the New York Times, Tesla said, "What can I say? I lost almost all the mechanical and automation tools I had been working on to perfection in a fire that lasted only 1 hour. I wish it were only my wealth that was lost, but it's not. Everything is gone, but I have to start anew for the future of humanity." It is said that tears roll down his eyes when he talks. After the fire, Tesla isolates himself at home and does not go out for days. It was probably a conspiracy against him, to stop him. Because Nikola Tesla had something he was putting great effort into and wanted to invent. A groundbreaking invention that would change the whole world. Nikola Tesla. Thank you for watching me. See you in the next video.